We're gonna say all of the right things.
We're going to
The
say all
only
the
way to
right
do it.
things. That's right. We only say the right things on the Slanted Brow Show.
Yep. Even behind air.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. People might wonder what we talk about behind stage or
Yeah.
backstage. I, you know, Nothing we wouldn't say to you guys right here.
Oh, it's
Nothing
straight
at
to your
all.
face.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll say it right to your face. What we do.
We
We,
hide
sh-
nothing.
we shout it in your face, whether you like it or not.
And we
Most
don't
people,
care.
I don't think most people would like us to shout in their face.
No,
Hi,
no.
everybody.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's the Slanted Brow Show, and I am Bernard.
I'm Chris Gordy.
And our other third person, she's not here with us
What?
tonight.
Oh, she's not.
No, she's not here.
What?
I
I'm
know. Just
looking. Okay.
don't
Because
don't see
usually,
her in sight.
because usually she's right, there.
Right here.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Uh, we got it that time.
Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. It's got to be that way. No. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. So I noticed, Bernard, you've got a red theme going on in your studio. Don't think I didn't notice that.
Yes. Yeah, I was trying to go for blood.
Were
No
you?
pun intended. Yes, I was trying to go for the whole blood look in light of the season. 'Tis the season to be bloody,
That's
you
right.
know?
I
And
even chose my dark, dank basement
ooh,
tonight.
the dark and dank. That sounds like a nice horror film title.
It does. Or a band
Dark.
name.
Ooh, I think I like band name better.
Band
Dark
name.
and dank.
The Dark and Danks.
A matter of fact, hey, what if it was like you and me? Like I was dark and you were dank.
Oh. Oh, and we were the band.
Yeah, like a duo.
Yeah, 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 because that's all we need. We just need Dark
Coming
and
to the
Dank.
stage, dark and dank.
Everybody, put your hands together. Are you ready?
For dark and dank. Yeah, that'd be pretty hit. A matter of fact, like what would be like one of our hit songs? Like a dope title.
Did yours time out for a second?
I don't think it did, but of course, I have the usual lag.
Do you? All right.
Yes,
Mine,
because I haven't got
mine,
my new PC yet. But yeah,
mine, paused out for a second, and I was looking at it, and I thought, oh, well, I guess we're done.
already
Oh
sad
man.
faces.
Oh man, it's already been an hour? Jeez
I know,
Louise. How
so
long were we
fast.
talking about the band name? Wow, now that was a fascinating episode
Yes, they talked about dark and dank for the whole
for an
episode.
entire hour, and
Oh
then we
my
said
gosh.
and then we said good night.
Yeah. Good night, folks. Nothing to see here. Nothing to talk about. Man. But I mean, let's start off with some good news. Like,
Okay,
what's been good?
let's start with
Um,
you. What's been good with you?
what's been good with me?
Yeah, that's what I. Well, there's only us.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I could say this is that I've really been looking forward to this weekend. So I've been kind of prepping because I've never done like a full-fledged like handout candy type
Oh,
of
really?
thing where yeah, it's like normally I just kind of like, I don't sit outside on the porch. I don't have the whole jack-o'-lantern sitting out. I don't, I'm just really super boring. Open the door, here's your candy, keep it moving. But this year, I'm thinking about switching things up to where, like, you see, like all this red. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have that red pouring out of my windows at the front
Oh,
of my house, and then I'm
okay.
going to have one of the windows cracked, and I'm gonna have my system. I have a super loud system, and I want to have like
Of
creepy
course you
sounds
do.
either coming yeah coming out of the window. I don't know if I want to go like super real with like a woman screaming or people like being butchered, or just like random
Ooh.
chainsaw noises, or just go with like horror theme songs, the things that we grew up listening to, like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the
Hmm.
13th, Halloween, like all those type of things, and just have that like on a loop. And
Wow.
then I'll sit outside, and I'm gonna have a like a red light pouring
Hmm.
through my door window across the top because we get like these little three the window panes or whatever. Have it
Yeah.
pour through there, and then have that be like my backlight. And then my daughter and I will sit on the porch with our jack o' lantern, and we'll
Mm-hmm.
hand out candy. Well, we won't
Nice.
hand out candy. We'll have candy like in a little bowl, like 6 feet away from us,
Okay.
and just monitor. Yep. So yeah, it's a bit doing some planning.
Well, we were trying to figure out how to do the candy, and
Hmm.
ideally, I wanted to have one of those big plastic PVC pipes coming from the rooftop down
Oh
to like
wow!
the end of the driveway, and like I
Yeah.
could just sit up there and just drop Snickers bars, down and just have people yell trick or treat, and then I just drop them down there. Um, well, it's just time consuming, so I never did do it. But so actually, and for anybody who's wondering, well, how am I going to get candy to kids without touching the candy? I'm going to use food tongs, just like tongs.
Now that I can
Yep,
get with. I can get behind that. As a matter of fact, I
yep,
am going to get behind that.
yeah. I just figured, if all I've got to do, and I'll spray the tongs and stuff, and then I'll just hand it to him with tongs. So that way, I mean,
Mm.
nobody touches it. Nobody ever has to touch it.
Oh yeah, and I
Yeah.
think what would add a nice little touch is if you had got an extra pair of tongs, and you had another bowl of like raw chicken breast with some red dye in it, and said, "Here's you have
Mhm.
an option. You can have some from this, and then pull some of it out, or then
Oh,
needs to say
nice,
you can have the candy, right?" And
nice,
I think that'll really freak people out.
nice.
It'll look real too because it is real flesh.
There's a couple butcher shops I can go to where I can get more than just some chicken breast.
Oh, please
Wouldn't
tell me
that be
more.
cool?
Tell me
Oh, wouldn't
more.
that be cool? You can have like an organ in there, like you could have a pig heart in there where you could just, well, did you want this? You know. I
Oh
like
my
to go
God.
I like to go for realism when I can.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's what I
Why
like.
not? So just
Well,
get a big bowl of like leftover like organs. Pig
yeah,
organs.
yeah. Maybe a brain. Get a brain in there.
Oh,
Hmm. Now we're talking the good stuff.
yeah, we're talking the super good stuff. And you will have so many people will come to your house off rip.
Yeah, right. Hey,
Hey, what's going on,
Joshua.
Josh?
We're
My
gonna have
man.
maybe a couple of people over, and then that's it.
Yeah.
I've got two moms coming with their two kids, and then we're all like outside. I'm gonna have a
Yep.
grill going for some hot
Oh, wow.
dogs, and then I got I had to buy a new one of those outdoor fire pits, so
Yeah.
some assembly required. So I'm going to be doing that on my weekend too. Um, yeah, just keeping it really simple, really basic.
Yep.
Staying outside, masks on, but still
Yeah.
being able to at least do something for Halloween, have some fun,
That
man. Yeah.
sounds good. That sounds
Mm-hmm.
good. So, I mean, gosh, speaking of Halloween right now, let's just go ahead and jump to this topic real quick. Like,
Let's
happy
do it.
COVID Halloween,
Happy
everyone.
COVID Halloween, everybody.
Yeah, this is something that I personally was not looking forward to. I didn't even think that, COVID was going to last this long, but
Nobody did.
alas, here we
Well,
are.
somebody may have thought that it would last this long, like doctors out there and people that know a lot more than I do.
Yeah, maybe like Dr. Fauci, perhaps. Maybe
He
he
may
was
have
thinking
known.
like, yeah,
Hmm. He might
right,
have had an
right.
inkling.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
Oh, speaking of knowing about COVID, I watched a movie. I watched a web series over the weekend. Shakina and I, we watched this show. It was called Woke, and it was an
okay.
episode 7, around 3 minute and 30-second mark. You start to watch these people on a bus,
Okay.
And this guy is talking about how there are all types of like creeps that are on the bus, and he's like reading everybody their rights. Like there go the religious people over there, and there goes the goth people, and then right there, look at patient zero. She may have some type of coronavirus or some type of SARS or something like that. And then they showed a picture of her. She's wearing a mask, not one of these masks. She is wearing one of those decorative masks with like the rhinestones on it and stuff like that, and she begins to cough. Now, here's the freaky thing about it. Wait. Then they show the outside of the bus as they're closing that scene out. The bus drives past a sign, and on the sign it said July 2020. Here's the freaky thing about this. This was filmed 2 years ago.
Well, you'd have me if he said she's patient zero with COVID-19. Now,
Right.
he said she's patient zero with coronavirus, which is a flu.
Right.
So if he had said COVID-19, then you'd have
Mm-hmm.
me. Then you'd have me. Without
Mm-hmm.
that, though, I'm always suspicious and I'm always looking at smoke and mirrors.
But look, it's the whole timing of it with the whole sign outside that said July 2020 though.
Oh,
And then
I
and
get it that it's pretty interesting.
and it wasn't this type of mask. Like the thing that
Mm-hmm.
blew me away was the date and the timestamp, but it was the style of mask that we're also commonly seeing right now. Like nobody that I know could have been like foresaw that, but somehow this show nailed it, and I was like, bravo, folks. I don't know who you've been talking to, but you guys might have an inside scoop.
Well, what is it? What is it? They had been actually. It was. I read some kind of a report where they were talking. They were talking about our current president's lack of preparedness. Even though, and this article from NPR it said, even though that there have been plans in place uh, for a global pandemic for at least a decade. Plans have been there to be able to take care of it. You know what I mean? To take the precautions, have the to have the staff and the money and the wherewithal to be able to handle whatever that may be. Um, but it's been systematically taken away for the past 4 years.
Oh
So
wow.
we didn't have that luxury anymore.
No.
Yay us!
Right. Us.
Yeah, we
I
rock.
know.
Mm, mm. And
But
then
yeah, go ahead.
no, I was just going to say the big thing that I've been hearing a lot of people say is that now that are we in purple? Is Hamilton County in purple?
Let me
Because
look
I
that
keep
up.
getting
I don't know.
conflicting reports. It's like somebody said, "No, we're just still in the red," and then somebody else say, "Well, we're in the purple," or you know. But but I guess for the past couple of days, DeWine you know he's been smart about it, you know, saying, "Hey, it would be wise this holiday," and he means Halloween, if you just didn't if you didn't go to large gatherings, you know. And he's
Right.
basically talking about bars because we all know that on Halloween night, all the bars, every bar you can think of is going to have some kind of costume contest, some
Yep.
kind of special beer draft night. I mean, I used
Yep.
to go to those all the time too, so I know what's going on there. Um, hey, people, could you just not do that this year? Um, you know,
Maybe not.
there's a lot of great movies at home. You know, you could always buy beer and drink it at home with a friend. That's nice too.
That's true. That's true. I mean, but for whatever reason, I mean, people are, I guess they have the mentality of it's not going to happen to me. You know, it's like,
Still,
like it's not. And I feel also that, I don't know, do you think that a majority of the people that are catching COVID, they are not really succumbing to the illness or to the virus, and that maybe a fraction of those who are getting the virus are actually like going through like pretty bad?
So I have had, I don't know, probably in the past 2 months, I have had a half dozen people that I'm aware of that tested positive for COVID, and a couple of them were laid up in bed like I was.
Yeah.
Nobody that I am personally friends with have been hospitalized. Then I hear from other friends of mine who do know family members that have been hospitalized. It affects everybody so differently. And you're right in a way, because the bad part is the people that don't get affected by it so much, they blow it off pretty much just like our president did when he came out of the hospital. He's like, "Oh, I'm fine. Nobody has to worry about this." Well, okay, well, 250,000 people have died, so I mean, somebody has to worry about this.
Wow.
I mean, somebody has to, right? Somebody
Yeah.
has to be worried. Um, so I don't know. You know,
I
it.
mean, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's nuts, when you said that out loud, like a quarter million, it's like, oh my gosh, that's a large number.
yeah,
Um,
and I'm not just looking at the United States. It's worldwide, and there's a lot of people that have died from this. A lot of people have died from this. People, come on. You can't be dismissive
nope.
on this. I don't know. I mean, I enjoy this is what bothers me. You know me, Bernard. I mean,
Oh yeah.
given an opportunity, I'd love to sit down and have a whiskey with the best of them,
Right.
as long as nobody's going to die because of it. I don't
Yes.
understand why people are just that dismissive of it. That, well, I have this sexy nun costume, and I'd really hate to waste not wearing it to my local
Uh,
favorite tavern and drinking some watered down
lager.
drinks, and yeah, watered down whiskey and bad beer. That's what I want to do on Halloween. And on top of that, I might be an asymptomatic person. Man, I got those COVID all around me, and I'm going to pass it off to you. You, the one that lives with your parents, maybe? I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't get it.
Yeah. I don't either. And then speaking of asymptomatic people, I heard that Kroger is now allowing people to be able to take a test to see if they had it. Not that if you currently have it, but if you
Really?
had it. Yeah, and I think it's like $25. So they're saying, who out there is brave enough really to kind of go and see if you had it or not. Not to see you're going to get tested and see if you do, but um, I don't know. I mean, for me, I don't think I would go take the test because I just don't. I just rather keep my $25 for gas.
There
Um,
you go.
yeah, but as far as like the direction that we're headed, Ohio, I saw here they said about 6 hours ago that there are no counties that are turning purple. So
Good. There you go.
yeah, so Hamilton, we got by the skin of our teeth, but there's no telling what's going to happen next week because of this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
As you stated, I mean, I think that people are going to go bananas. They've been going bananas for no reason. Now we have Halloween as being a prime reason to go
Mm-hmm.
bananas.
I've even gotten an email. It was a mass email that the principal of my son's school sent out to everybody. And should I use the word plea? Yeah, sure. So it was
Yeah.
kind of a plea that she was making to the parents to
Hmm.
please be smart this weekend, and please be aware that whatever you're exposing yourself to, then you're exposing your kids to, and then they in turn go back to school and they expose their teachers to and it just goes on and on and on and on.
Right.
And and then, I think there was an attachment even from the school nurse that even had, here are some precautionary measures. Please, look this over before you do things this weekend. And it was sad because I thought, man, I just gotta, I have the principal of my son's school begging me to not, go to these large gatherings, of which I'm not. But
Right.
man, that's just kind of sad that it's a sad state of affairs when she felt she had to do that.
Yeah. I mean, we have to cover all bases. I mean,
Hmm.
just because we are adults doesn't mean that we are going to behave like adults. We're not going to make the best choices or decisions. So,
And even when, I know a couple of weeks ago we did the 48-hour filming, and
hmm
even then, um, well, let's see, two of our characters had masks on anyway.
hmm
Um, and then kind of the rule of thumb was, yeah, if you're not in front of the camera, wear a mask.
Yep.
I mean, we were just, you got to be careful wherever you go. So, yeah. So happy COVID
Wow.
Halloween, everyone,
Happy
and
COVID
enjoy that
Halloween.
candy.
Yes. Get
I,
plenty of it.
I wonder if
I'm
people,
sure there's going to be lots.
I wonder if people out there watching us are going to dress up as anything.
Ooh.
I told you what my costume is,
Oh yeah. What's your costume going to be?
and
Share with us.
well, I'm wearing it right now. All right. Now I don't know if anybody can tell what it is, what I am for Halloween. Okay, are you guys ready? It's gonna
What's
blow your
that?
mind. I have been working on this outfit for a long time. All right, are you ready?
Yep.
I am an asymptomatic guy who's not aware he has COVID-19.
Ooh, that's dark.
Yeah.
Wow. And you're not going to wear a
Woo!
mask. You're not going to wear a
No.
mask, but you,
No.
and if you really want to add some flair to that, just walk around sneezing and just say it's allergies.
Oh, I could. I could. There's so many leaves out here. I just leaves and dust. Oh man, I am so and then hand out candy with the same hand that I used to cover my mouth. Here
Where's
you go.
the?
Here you go. That's right.
Oh my God!
That's right.
Just spreading Halloween cheer, huh?
Yes. Yeah, Halloween cheer. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Hey, looks like B plus is wearing his mask in chat. Well, thank you, B plus. That's I like that you're thinking of others when you're
I do
typing.
too.
Now, are you wearing mask on your fingers so that you don't infect? I'm just trying to figure out how else he can infect us. I don't know.
Right, right. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
it is a virus, so it could compute.
Hmm. It
You know,
could.
I mean, we just don't know.
Yeah, great,
Wow.
great. We have now discovered that the virus can actually move through wires. And everybody watching this show right now is at absolute 100% total risk of catching the virus.
Oh yeah.
So thanks for
Yeah.
joining us, folks.
Yep. And good night.
Yeah. And with that, we hope you sleep soundly tonight.
Oh my gosh. But you
In a
know what?
couple of
All of
weeks, you
this
can go to Kroger and find out if you had it.
find out real quick.
That's right.
But this reminds me of the time in which the bed bug pandemic was the thing.
Oh, that's right. Cincinnati, we were like number one, weren't we? For
We were
bed
up
bugs?
there. We were
Man.
up there. It was so bad. I didn't know how we were going to get rid of those things.
Okay, do you want to know a secret?
What's that?
I was working in the hotel industry when that was going down. Right here
Okay.
in the Cincinnati area.
Okay.
I remember distinctively talking to my friends on the phone saying, you know, we're a really proud people here in Cincinnati. We are number one in something. I don't care what it is, but we're number one. We'll take it. Hey, we can't get to the World Series or the Super Bowl, but we've got bed bugs. Yeah, we do. You know what I always wanted to say to somebody when they complain about bed bugs?
What was that?
Here's what I would, well, because when you back up a little bit, so when you leave a room, okay, so I didn't work at a no-tell motel. I usually worked at, the nicer big hotels
Yeah.
where the staff, that cleaning staff is like, their job is inspect it. Like as soon as they leave a room, you go in there with all your sprays and stuff, and you make sure they did their job. So if there's a
Right.
bed bug in there, we're
Mm.
gonna know about it when you leave. So this is what I always wanted to say to somebody the next day who would come up to me and say, "Well, I was bitten by a bed bug last night," and they could prove it because they would, I that happened to me once, and I'm not going to say where I work, but it happened to me once, and they
Yeah.
showed me the little bed bug bite. We went up there. Yes, there was one in the room. They had found it. Uh, they took
Oh,
they took the precautions to disinfect the entire room and area. But here's what I really wanted to say to that individual. I wanted to say, there weren't any bed bugs before you checked into the room. Why did you bring
so
bed bugs to our hotel? But no, I always wanted to say that because the room would be clean and spotless,
right,
inspected. And then they
totally.
say, well, there's bed bugs in here. And they don't say it until like the next day, or maybe if they, I've had people that would stay there 2 days and then they tell us
Right.
after 2 days. And I'm like, well, there used to not be bed bugs in there. And now there are.
All of a sudden.
Is there something you'd like to tell me? And could you please back away?
Right. 6 feet, please.
6 feet.
6 feet.
Yeah. 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 I don't know how
Yep.
far those suckers can jump. I have
I
absolutely
don't
no
want to
idea.
know.
Do you know what used to scare me though?
What's that?
Is when that would happen, like it would always, like, I get back in my car and it would give me like the heebie jeebies on my way home because I'd be like, do I have like bed bug eggs on me somewhere? And now I'm
Yeah.
gonna like bring them home to my family because yeah, that's the first thing I want to do is bring bed bugs into my home. you know,
Right.
it's like, oh my God. And okay, I never did, but the thought is always there in the back of your mind because you're like,
Oh,
I was real close to a bed bug today and it was
right.
alive. So which one like was maybe a little egg or something? And it's like I'm not privy to how those bugs live. I
Right.
don't know. I just know how to kill them.
That's it.
So, and that's all I needed to know.
Yeah,
When
like
when they're found, how
the
do I
bed
kill it?
bug things. Yeah, the bed bug thing was crazy because I remember people having to leave clothes outside, like in a bag. You have to spray the bag down. It's like
Yep.
that's not too far from what we're doing. Well, a few months ago, people were saying like take your bags that you get from the grocery store, leave it out, on open and spray it down and let it sit for 3 minutes or so. Um, I don't know, and I think that even during that time of the whole bedbug pandemic, they had there was a movie theater that shut down and never recouped from that.
Which
It
one?
was a movie theater. It was out there in Bond Hill. I think it was called something Showcase. What was it called? The Bond Hill Showcase?
Man, see, that's my greatest fear is that some of these theaters right now.
Yeah. Well, they're just going into hibernation.
There you
They're
go.
just sleeping right now. They're sleeping.
Sleep it
I'm
off.
not. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about Hollywood. I mean, like Hollywood just has goo gobs of money just at their disposal. So like not to say I don't care about them, but it's like you guys have no worries really at all. Because the movie going experience is not going to go anywhere. Like everybody doesn't have that big screen TV at the house with the surround sound. They just don't have that yet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the whole thing of just getting popcorn and getting out the house and just being in a big room with other people, there's no vibe like that
Yep.
outside of like the same reason why people go to see basketball and football and sports in a stadium versus going home and watching it on a television.
Yep.
It's not the same. It's not the same. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not worried about the movie theaters. They're going to be here forever,
Good.
forever.
Because my favorite one down the street, it just seems like they've been closed for far too long.
Yeah, it's just a box right now, and it's
Permanently
oh,
be closed.
well. I feel like this. It's like it's a building, and I feel that it's already suited, of course, for the movie going experience. So once this all lifts, whether it's the same business or not, that's going to come by and resurrect it. it's going to be a movie theater again. Like movies are going to have to be shown, and things are going to go back to normal as much as possible, and it'll be as if it never missed a beat.
You know,
But I will go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, I was going to say one thing I do worry about, not I worry about, but I wonder about is the Oscars. Like, how is this affecting the Oscars
Oh,
and like Best Picture? Like, maybe I could win Best Picture during this pandemic.
do you mean now we finally have a chance? I could
We
win an
do.
Oscar.
I can win an Oscar.
Man, I have
Don't
so
have to
many.
try that hard.
I have so many people to thank. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead, give your speech.
Ah. Oh, so I just noticed the ticker tape on the bottom. What are you wearing for Halloween? We really
Yeah,
got off topic.
you know how we do.
I
When you and
know,
I get to going, it just
I know,
goes.
I know,
Improv.
I know. We'll keep talking. You know, I don't know. They were talking about costumes, and then all of a sudden, theaters might be shutting down, and
Right?
there are certain types of sushi that you don't just eat out of a gas station. I don't know what the conversation. I don't know why they did that. I don't know.
I can't
But for
follow the trail.
some reason I stayed with it and I listened to the whole thing. I listened to all of it. No, you know what? My speaking of what are you wearing for Halloween? My son. Um, okay, so you might know the character. It's out of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yes.
Okay, are you familiar with all the characters there?
Yeah.
Okay, you know the red fox with the patch
Yep.
on his eye.
Oh my
That's
God. Creepy
that's
one.
yes. So he and mom made it themselves. So because it's like nobody's. Well, you can't buy that one. It's like we couldn't find it. So it's like, well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna make my own. I'm like, okay. So he's made his own, and he's all excited, and he should be because it really does look really cool. And then he keeps saying, "So what are you gonna be for Halloween?" I'm like, "I'm gonna be the guy grilling hot dogs and handing out candy." That's kind of what I thought I'd dress up as, buddy.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
guy, the guy hosting a couple of people over so that you can have fun. That's what I thought I'd do. So he's like,
Yeah.
"Well, so I'm not at work tomorrow, and so tonight, before he left me, he said, so when you're out and about tomorrow, um, could you get Halloween candy and go ahead and buy yourself a costume? Does whatever you want to be, go ahead and buy yourself as if he's some guy who just gave me cash and said, here, buy yourself something pretty, Dad.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Exactly.
just
Go
get
treat
yourself
yourself.
something. Yeah, yeah, treat yourself something nice, Dad. Like,
It's like a
but
mob
I don't,
boss.
yeah, but I don't. And then I'm like, well, what should I be? And he said, I don't know. And then Mom said, my wife Susie, she says, well, what should I be? And he said, a witch. Like, oh, well, what if I want to be a witch?
Right.
It's like, well, you can be, but I don't know. So, but just get yourself something. And I'm like, all
Wow.
right, all right. You know what I'm gonna? Yeah, I don't know. Actually, what I thought I might do is, and two, I swear I will do it live for our show one of these nights. I would have done it tonight since this is the last show before Halloween. I would have taken a cam outside and done a little fire eating show for everybody.
Oh
But
my
but I am
gosh.
going to do it in front of the house on Halloween night, so that people walking by are going to see flames being blown and stuff like that. So there,
That is going to be awesome.
I'm going to dress up like a fire eater.
A fire
Who,
eater.
yes, who also suspiciously looks like a guy dressed up like a guy who's asymptomatic with COVID and he doesn't know it. They kind of look
Yep.
the same.
Kind of
Yeah.
very similar. No
They
mask.
no, they don't. No, there's no mask. No, really, that's the great thing about the asymptomatic guy. You don't have to wear a mask. Mask
Mm-mm.
not included. You don't need one.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm cool. I'm cool. I walk around and have no cares in the world.
No, absolutely none. Nope.
Mm-mm.
Nope. No
Walking
gloves either.
around.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Wow. So for myself, um, I don't know. Like I thought about doing Snoop Dogg again. Um,
Okay.
yeah. And
Can
I
can you
have
can you sound like Snoop Dogg?
no, actually I can't. I tried and it's a horrible impression and people are just like, so what are you? Like British? Like why is the British accent coming out?
Well, that was back in his earlier days when he was
Right.
more of a he was a hip hop Welshman from the UK. Um,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh. But
when he was just really getting started working with labels back then. Yeah, it was
right.
rough. Nobody ever
Fresh
thought
off the
a
streets.
yeah nobody ever thought a Welshman would make it in hip hop. But hey, you know, good for
You
you,
got
Snoop
Snoop.
Dogg. Yeah,
Good, good. Yeah.
Snoop
So
walked in the
yeah.
hizoo and did his thing.
In
Anyway,
the Flizzoo and went to the Waterloo Zoo. Oh my gosh.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. A matter of fact, I think I had the shades right here
Do you?
from the last time yeah, let me go grab those real quick.
I was gonna say, have they been sitting next to you at your desk since last Halloween?
No, they've been sitting on my shelf.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, you might want to
so
blow the dust off those a little bit.
oh yeah, so like let me see. I wonder if I got my chain. No, my chain is probably hanging up somewhere. But yeah, man, I had like the whole little Rasta hat going on,
Oh,
my hair
nice.
pulled back,
Yeah.
and I got a microphone here in front of my face so I could do my thing, and I look like a makeshift knockoff Snoop Dogg.
You could pull it off. I can totally see it.
Yeah,
I can totally see that. I think that would work for you.
West Side. Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, you got to do that sign. Yeah.
yeah. Now a funny story that 3 years ago when I went at Snoop Dogg, I went to a Halloween party downtown,
Mhm.
and I missed the Halloween costume contest that they were having. And
Oh,
the person who won was a guy who dressed up as Michael Phelps. He literally was wearing trunks, speedo trunks, swim cap, had the goggles, and had
wow.
like the golden the gold medallion or whatever, first place
Wow.
medallion. And he sees me dressed up. Like, mind you, I missed it. He walks up to me. He was like, "Dude, if you was here, you would have got first place." Like, and people were looking like, like, "Oh my gosh, like this guy looks so similar to Snoop." I wish I was able to show pictures. I could, but it was just bogged down my computer. But oh my god, like the amount of attention that I got that night, I really felt like a celebrity that because people were getting selfies like left and right. Man, it was crazy.
Okay, so at some party then, after all this is over, I would like to see you do your Snoop Dogg. Well, at least dress, you know, dress like Snoop, you know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
man. A
I
matter of
think that
fact,
would be awesome.
that would man, it would be. I would have so much fun doing that, and just even like just a random show, like just to have Snoop Dogg on the show.
There you go. There you go. But how would we get? So if we like wanted to ask Snoop Dogg any questions, like, hey, so Snoop, is it okay if I call you Snoop? Um, so we haven't heard from you for a while. I mean, you've been doing commercials and things a little bit here and there. So what kind of major projects do you have coming up? Would you be able to pass off a Snoop and answer that question?
I might be able to do that. I might. I mean, like I would have to tap into that and add
You
a
know,
little bit of comedy to it, but I think I could do it. I can answer that question on the fly.
well, people who do imitations, yeah, they work on it. Just practice. Practice makes perfect.
Right, right, right.
Practice makes perfect.
Now the
Years
one guy,
ago, no,
yeah.
go ahead.
Now I was gonna say there's a guy that I follow on Twitter who does a mean Trump impression.
Ooh,
And I'm talking like to the point to where you can ask him anything random and he will give you a Trump answer. Like it is hilarious. He has his own
Nice.
podcast called it's called Making Podcasts Great Again. Go check it out. It will have
I'm
you
gonna
in
have to see it.
stitches.
I'll have to
Yeah.
see it. There's one guy I used to. He's got a YouTube video. The YouTube video is old, um,
Hmm.
because I saw it years and years ago, um, and it was this guy who does the perfect Morgan Freeman accent. I mean, it is absolutely dead spot, and he poops, and he does it in a Morgan Freeman voice. So there are two videos, one where you can't see him, and that's
Yeah.
the one that I prefer, because if you just listen to the voice and then you look at the pictures, it's like, holy crap. It's like Morgan Freeman is narrating the book, the children's book, Everybody Poops, narrated by Morgan Freeman. And it's priceless. I absolutely loved it. I used to listen to it all the time for a good laugh. I'm like, oh my God, man, this guy, he's like a dead ringer. I mean, he's on it. Oh, I love that guy.
Oh my God.
So
Oh my God.
anybody who wants to hear it, you just go to YouTube and search for it. Morgan Freeman, Everybody Poops.
Hold on. A matter of fact, I'm going to try to see if I can pipe in the audio.
Yeah, just pipe in the audio. We don't need to see anybody. We just want the audio of Everybody Poops. Read by Morgan Freeman. Of course, now I can't hear you. No, I can't hear you anymore. Okay. Okay, everybody. He has given me the wait a second finger. Now here in the biz, that's this is universal. I don't know if anybody else uses that sign. This is universal for, hey, just a second, or get off my butt. I'm trying to do something right now. It also means that as well. So
Right.
good. Hey, and he's back.
All
Man,
right.
I filled in all that dead air.
And you did it so flawlessly too. I'm like,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
guy
really,
just
really
slides right in there.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Oh
what
my
people
gosh.
say about old Gordy, he just slides right in there
in that old voice.
in that old man voice. He slides right in there.
Slides
Yeah.
right in there, just like the good old days.
Yeah, tell you what, buddy, that's what he does. Yep, known that boy for years, known as Daddy too. Isn't that something old men say? Knew his daddy.
Yep.
Like this old man was like everybody's daddy's best friend.
Now,
Yeah,
now let me ask
that's
you
Bob's
this.
son over there. Yeah.
Have you ever had to put on an accent for any of your characters like that, or do you just only use your voice, or have you ever like really lost yourself in a character before?
So that's funny that you ask that, because in 48, we all have
Oh
an
yeah?
accent. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Now I don't want to give it
That
away because I would like for people to see it, but we figured out where we wanted this story to take place,
uh-huh.
and it's in the United States, but it. So I'll just say that.
Okay,
I'll
okay.
just say that. So, and you know what? Everybody in our 48 film, which incidentally was called Superhero. So that's superhero with a question mark. Yes, That's what you're supposed to do. Superhero? Um,
Superhero?
superhero? So everybody, the entire cast of Superhero, they all did a great job with the accent. It was something that I think some were nervous about, and in the end, they nervous. They did a great job.
That was good.
Um, if you hear an animal near me right now, and I totally forgot about this, so the cat who lives in this house enjoys coming down to the basement. Where, yeah, did you hear it?
Oh, yeah, I heard
Yeah.
it that time.
Okay, so it's down here now. Um, I don't know. I don't know what it wants. Um, it's just, well, you know what? It's just staring at me. That's weird.
It wants something then.
It does. It certainly wants something. I don't know what it is. But yeah, no. So other than that, no, I've never. I wouldn't put on an accent unless unless something really, really, really called for it. Okay, you saw Nevis. Did you see that?
Yes.
When in the end, when I'm sitting in my striped suit,
Mm-hmm.
I take my voice down a couple of notches and I end up talking like this. Only because I'm trying to be calm and cool and collective, and I'm a hell of a lot smarter than the person that I'm sitting across from. That's why but that's really the only time that I've really done anything like that.
Okay.
So
So it's kind of almost like that. Oh, speaking of Nevis, it's kind of like the movie Seven, the villain.
yes, yeah, yeah, I guess, yeah,
Yeah, he talked
and
really low and he was really witty and like he was above everybody.
yeah, and I got that from last, well, okay, summer 2019 when I did the script read for Cindy Pendant.
Yep.
One of the scripts that I did, I was supposed to be a serial killer. And so I went online because I know you can find the original interviews with serial killers on YouTube, and I
Yeah.
listened to them. And hands down, there are at least 3 or 4 that I kept listening to, and hands down, the ones that I would listen to, they're all very calm and cool and collective,
Mm-hmm.
and they're always much very smarter than the person that they were
Right.
talking to because they're far more interesting.
Right.
But at the same time, you don't know at any point in time when they're going to snap right at you,
Right.
and they can. And I enjoyed it. And so I did that for the Cindy Pendant, and it seemed to have gone over really well. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I thought, okay, well, for Nevis, if I have to do something like that, maybe I should try to do the same thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then once the camera rolls, sometimes you forget. You forget in your head what you wanted to do and how you wanted to do it, because all of a sudden, it's a little nerve-wracking. Everybody's staring at you at the same time.
Right. Right.
And your goal is to get these lines out in a way that you wanted to, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
The
know.
way you hear it in your head.
Yep.
Yep. I
Yeah.
get that.
Hmm.
So one of the serial killers that you watched was that Kemp. He was.
Yes, I did. I love him. Well,
Yeah.
you know.
I get what you're
Um,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he was also very just,
Almost like
you
happenstance.
know,
Like.
yep.
Yep.
So
Like
I
yeah.
would, and the girl would have lived if she just hadn't have gone in my car, and that was really her fault and it wasn't mine.
Right.
And I'm
It's so
watching this and I'm
crazy.
like, holy crap, man. Oh my God. And this guy is still alive. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, he wasn't the only one. There were others that they were always, matter of fact,
Right.
and just really, they were above you. For what it's worth, when you listen to Charles Manson, don't think for a second that he didn't think he was scads above you intellectually.
Oh my
Now,
God. Yes.
probably not. I wouldn't
No.
think so,
No. But
but
he
he
believed it.
but he believed it, and he believed it good enough to convince others that he's right.
Right.
So,
Yep.
yeah,
Come
he
on,
believed it.
man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You know how we gotta do, man.
Yeah. I had a friend, I have a friend who, when I was working on monologues a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
I was talking with him and he said, you know, I had to write a monologue once when I was in college. And he said, he said, I had to come up with a monologue. He was taking an acting class. And he
Yeah.
said, and I didn't know how to do, a monologue. I didn't know what to look for. So he
Yeah.
said, I wanted to find something unique. And so
Oh
he
my God.
did. And what he found was, I guess, apparently at the end of the Manson trial,
Hmm.
he made a statement, a public statement. And that was his monologue.
Wow.
Rob said he went in front of the class, sat in a chair, and he didn't go into a Manson voice, but he used the inflections in the words when he wanted to.
Yeah.
He used excitement in the right words. He put power behind the words that needed power, and basically blamed all of you because you're the ones that made me who I am today, and it wasn't me. And if you could be doing it, you would too. And you're all just pawns. And he just went on and on and on and on and on. Ace the class, by the way. But yeah,
Jeez.
he used Charles Manson's statements as a monologue.
That's pretty interesting. I would have never thought to do that,
I,
but it
I wouldn't
makes
have either.
sense.
Oh yeah,
It makes sense.
it's unique.
Yep. So speaking of monologues, I did find Morgan Freeman reads "Everyone Poops." Everyone poops.
And we don't want to see the guy. Can you see the guy?
I can see him, but you
So
guys
you
won't.
know that he 100% does not look like Morgan Freeman.
Right.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. But his voice, holy crap. His voice it's like he's done nothing but work on that one voice
Right.
for years now, and he's
Everyone
perfected it.
poops. As read.
Is that it?
That's it.
All right, hold on. I gotta put my headphones in for this one. Oh, here we go.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat.
A good treat.
A good treat.
Everyone poops. As read by Morgan Freeman. An elephant makes a big poop. A mouse makes a tiny poop. A one-hump camel makes a one-hump poop. A two-hump camel makes a two-hump poop. Only kidding. Fish poop. And so do birds. And bugs, too. Different animals make different kinds of poop.
Thank you,
Different
Morgan.
shapes, different colors, even different smells.
Oh.
Which end is the snake's behind? What does whale poop look like? Some stop to poop. Others do it on the move. Some poop here or there. Others do it in a special place. Grown-ups poop. Children poop too. While some children poop on the potty, others poop in their diapers. Some animals poop and pay no attention. Others clean up after themselves. These poop by the water. This one does it in the water.
Wow.
He wipes himself with paper, then flushes it down. All living things eat, so everyone poops.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you,
Thank
Morgan.
you.
We really appreciate you for stopping by and reading
Wow.
us that bedtime
Yeah.
story.
Yeah,
Now,
man.
now I feel like I gotta go eat. Because if everybody eats, everybody poops.
Everybody poops. Mm-hmm.
Surprise!
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
That was absolutely awesome. Hey, for the last thing for us to talk about, did you want me to mention 48?
Yes, please do. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so I don't know if what was it? Well, last week we had just said we had done it, so it was actually a
Mm-hmm.
couple of weeks ago now. Man, time
Mm-hmm.
is moving fast. A
Yep.
couple of weeks ago, I was on a team, the Mission Impossible Cincinnati team. We were one of three that were competing in a region for the 48-hour film festival. So we were competing with teams in Columbus, Philadelphia, and Baltimore. I guess Cleveland had so many teams that they were their own festival, so they
Mm-hmm.
did, they are their own region, I guess, because they had a lot of teams.
Right.
So we had when and I know we've explained this before, but just in case you haven't heard what 48 is, so what it is your team is given a genre like horror or superhero or detective or something like that. You're given an object that has to appear in it, whether it's a milkshake or a sealed envelope, you
Or a
know,
frisbee.
or a frisbee. What was the one from this? A light bulb. That was the one that we had, I think, last summer. Um, and then a character. You have to have a character in it. This time, I think it had to be either Lauren or Lance Munstead, and their job occupation was waiter. So we actually had their job occupation too. So we had to incorporate that. You can't write your script until you have all these. Now they always say, "No, we don't want you writing a script until you have all these." Well, you really can't anyway. So I mean,
Right.
not really, because you
It's
have
pretty
to.
difficult.
Yeah, because you have to incorporate all these things, especially if you want to. They give you a choice between two genres. So, like my last team was given superhero and fish out of water, and we decided to advertise and let people know that we did both because we thought, well, it's really easy to make a superhero fish out of water because the superhero is going to be different from looked at as different from everybody else, right? So
Mm.
it's not a hard step to make that person seem like a fish out of water, because they're just in a different state of mind and world as everybody else.
Right.
So you can do that. So you got 48 hours. You write the script, you film it, you edit it, you color code, you do all the things you need to do with it, and you
Yep.
have 48 hours to send it in. And when they say they want it by 7 o'clock, they didn't mean 7:01. They meant 7.
Yep.
Once it hits 7:01, you're done.
You're done.
You can't you're out. Now I was
Yep.
told there were 5 teams in our region that didn't make it.
Ooh.
So there were 5. We had 19 films in all show for the premiere.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we would have had 5 more, but they just didn't make it. I think one of them I had heard. One of the teams in Columbus, I think, had like 9 or 10 locations, different locations they were filming in, which I think is a lot if you're wanting to do a 10-minute film. They didn't get theirs done in time.
Of course.
Of course, they had a lot of locations. Um, so we had 2. Keep it simple. And I will say this: that I am still beaming with pride and positive vibes for the city of Cincinnati.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, hands down. And I don't mean this in any disrespect to any filmmaker from another city, but I feel that Cincinnati stood their ground. I will say it that way. We stood our ground very well.
That's good.
So
That's good.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wasn't able to see it because I was working on a project, but I plan on watching it tomorrow. Finding some time, take about a couple hours to go through all the entries. But I'm excited to see all of the different takes on these things that you got to hit. These points you got to hit, like the one
Mm-hmm.
line, the name, the genre, all that stuff being taken into consideration. People, you don't understand how difficult this is, especially like if this is your first time doing a 48. You have no idea, and there really is not anything that can prep you for what you're getting ready to embark on, because talking about having no sleep for 48 hours, it is not going to be a walk in the park. It's just not. Not your first time, doing it.
I was listening to the interview that you had done for B3C with Silas Tibbs,
Yeah.
which I was actually lucky enough to do one with him too. But I know you guys did one together, and I just said something to the effect of that by the time it got to the editing, you were kind of done mentally, just kind of like, yeah, let's do this editing, thinking to yourself too at the same time, yeah, boy, I'm burned out.
I'm
spent.
spent.
And I totally get it. I felt that way on Saturday night. We're up until 2 or 3 in the morning writing a script.
Oh my God. Yeah.
We get a couple hours of sleep, and then we go on location, and you're excited, because you're just now on location. Cameras getting set up, lighting's getting set up. The actors, great, they're doing a wonderful. You start to slow down a little bit. By the time nighttime comes, you're like, okay, so let's do another scene.
Yep.
Yep.
That's pretty much how it goes. But it's amazing to see what people are able to turn around in such a short period of time. I mean, it makes me proud, and for anyone who goes through it, you should be proud too. Like, you will walk away smiling, even if you didn't make it on time. You would automatically feel within the inside, like, you know what, like, I did it.
Yep.
At least I tried. Like if you're a filmmaker, you have to do a 48 at least once, so that you can kind of see who you are at your core, really.
Yeah. You find out a lot about yourself when you're pushed like that.
You do.
And you find out that you can do things that you didn't think you could,
Right.
Like things that you really hadn't.
Yep.
The scripts with, and I never did that. So, but now I have, and now I'm actually being asked to write a couple of short scripts for a couple of other.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I agreed to do it because I had a couple of storylines in my head, and I thought, well, as long as it's a short film, and as long as I'm not writing, a 100-page script, I'm writing a 5 to 10-page script. Okay.
Okay. You pulled my leg.
That can be done.
Yeah. Yep.
Man, it's already 10 o'clock, dude.
Yeah, it is. Well, you know what that means, guys. It's that orange wall of life.
Oh, right? That's right, because I call it the orange wall of death. What last week when we interviewed him?
You said, what was that?
Remember? It's like, oh yeah, it's and I guess it's kind of yellow.
Yeah. It's like yellow in the center, then it's like gold on the outside. So it's kind of like
a goldy. Yeah, I like gold. Yeah, I'll take golden or orange.
Yeah,
the golden screen of life.
The golden screen of life.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Just ask it any question. What's the meaning of life?
It's bringing life to you right now, ladies and gentlemen. Can you feel it coming out of the screen?
I can feel it.
Like a hand coming out of your screen right now, grabbing your face and pulling you towards the screen.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that was my
dark.
Yeah, that was my Halloween thing there for everybody.
Yeah. I'm down for it.
There you go. Yeah, that's my Halloween thing. Woo!